BRICS Summit 2025, Ethiopia, Egypt, and the Future of Africa. As the West tightens its grip, BRICS is growing and Africa is rising with it. But behind the big declarations lie deeper divisions that could shape the future of the continent. Hi, I'm Sina Exau and this is Analytica Today. The BRICS Summit just concluded in Rio de Janeiro. It brought together leaders from some of the world's most powerful developing nations. And for the first time, Africa didn't just attend. Africa helped shape the agenda, with Ethiopia and Egypt officially inside the bloc and the African Union represented at the table. The Global South isn't just rising, it's rearranging the rules. But here's the deeper question. Can the BRICS deliver real power to Africa? Or is it just another stage where the continent gets applause without influence? Let's break it down. BRICS was once just Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. But now it's grown to include 11 members, with Ethiopia and Egypt joining this year. That means two of Africa's most influential nations are now part of a bloc that controls 40% of the world's population, nearly a third of global GDP and the fastest growing economies outside the West, and more African voices are in the pipeline. Nigeria, Algeria, and Angola all made their pitch for deeper partnerships. What does Africa want? Infrastructure, trade, a fairer system. At the summit, AU Chair João Lourenço said it out clearly. Africa wants support for Agenda 2063, its own roadmap for development, not handouts, partnerships. China and Brazil nodded, and Ethiopia, still dealing with post-war recovery, called for investment in agriculture, energy, and manufacturing. This isn't charity, it's business, and it's leverage. But not all alliances are equal. Ethiopia and Egypt may both be BRICS members, but they're still at the odds of the Nile. The Grand Renaissance Dam remains a point of deep tension, one that could erupt. The Grand Renaissance Dam remains a point of deep tension, one that could erupt into regional conflict. So now the question is, can BRICS help mediate African problems, or will it import them into the bloc? The contradiction runs deeper. BRICS talks about unity, but key leaders didn't show up. Putin only dialed in virtually, again due to ICC arrest warrant. And for the first time, China's Xi Jinping skipped the summit, sending his second-in-command instead. And the internal rivalries, like India versus China, remain unresolved. Add to that Trump's threat to slap 10% tariffs on any country that sides with BRICS, anti-American policies, and you start to see pressure points. But most were not intimidated. Malaysia doubled down on cooperation. It reaffirmed its commitment to BRICS. Turkey said it remains closely interested and sees the bloc as a platform for reform, echoing Erdogan's long-held motto, "The world is bigger than five," and South Africa's President Ramaphosa said clearly, this isn't anti-West, it's pro-fairness. Here's the thing, BRICS isn't perfect, it's messy, it's contradictory, but it's also the first global bloc where Africa walks in as equal, not an afterthought. That power only matters if Africa uses it wisely, if Ethiopia and Egypt can rise above the Nile dispute, if countries like Angola and Nigeria can shape development conversations, not just follow them. And if Africa as a whole sees BRICS not as a savior, but as a platform to negotiate harder, better, smarter. The Rio Summit wasn't just about economics or diplomacy, it was about rewriting who gets to decide the future. Africa is no longer just a continent to be helped, it's a continent stepping into power. But power without unity, it becomes noise. If you believe Africa deserves a stronger voice in the shaping world, like, share, and subscribe, and tell us in the comments, is BRICS the path to Africa's future, or is just another stage with new actors? Until next time, I'm Sina Exau, and this is Analytica Today.